a question. You're the history buff. How do you feel about studios like Netflix butchering history like this with the Cleopatra
Oh,
show?
well, I've just come comfortably numb to it because the History Channel's done it far longer before any other units have done it. They got
Yeah.
this the horrible trend of the modern docudrama where they will get these talking heads, and bless their hearts, I do believe for the most part the talking heads are telling the earnest truth. They sit them down in a room, record their interview 2-3 hours of everything they know about this topic, but they don't tell them what they're talking over the visuals. I think these talking heads think they're talking over archival photographs, sketches, something like that. No, they're talking over the most overproduced CGI spotlight infestations of visual whatever the studios can afford to replicate these time periods as. And they're always in slow-mo. There's always one big spotlight in the background. Everybody's making these dramatic poses. That's every single docudrama. Cleopatra was it. The Washington miniseries that the History Channel did a few years back. The FDR one's going to be like that. They're all the same. These innocent talking heads have no idea what they're talking up. Their dialogue is misconstrued, split up with these horrible visuals.
All right. So with so many people perverting history the way they are, where do we go to find the real history?
Library.
Library One, if you want visual history, there are a lot of really good history channels out there. One of the big ones, History Underground. He has like a vlogging series. He goes on site to a lot of these locations and does the history. He first was primarily focused on World War II history, but like all American historians, he inevitably went to Gettysburg and had like 20 episodes worth of Gettysburg. And he recently went off, did a lot of tours and a lot of videos in Europe of World War II battlefield. So he does on the location history. He's not the only one. There's vlogging for history. History Savior 1941. I want to give him a shout out. He's a smaller channel, does stuff like this. Big follower of my channel. There's a lot of them out there that are going out to the locations and telling you bite-sized details of the story. They may not be able to give you a all-encompassing history, but they're going to give you on-the-ground bite-sized history, some personal details that you're not going to find in the textbook. So first, go to a library, find a good juicy book on history, but also if you want a visual aid, go watch a lot of these newer, do we want to call them YouTubers anymore? Because we got Rumble now going, these newer vloggers, these new wave historians, not woke new wave historians, earnest historians that are using modern day technology to try to enhance the learning experience.
You know, that would have sounded much better with a British accent. Just saying. Do you know who the executive producer on this Netflix Queen Cleopatra thing is?
Mm.
Jada Pinkett Smith.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know if she was director or executive producer. And keep in mind, this is the second season of an African Queens series.
Sure, it's the second season, right? Yeah.
So I wonder who Will Smith's gonna have to slap to fix this one.
Well, his slap in and fixed the last one. Maybe it's how's this?
Maybe
it was this temporal slap that changed all of our actual history, and we're just catching up to Hollywood.
That's called the Mandela effect.
He's sitting there pacing back and forth in front of Rotten Tomatoes HQ. You know, sitting there rubbing his hand, getting it ready.
Keeping it nice and warm for them.
King Bob says, how dare you say that about the best show ever, Ancient Aliens? No, that one's far more accurate.
That's in a league of its own.
Oh, so Rita, since we're on since we're on the history topic still, what do you think of Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure?
Oh, excellent, dude. I've only actually seen that once.
Oh my God.
I've seen
what
it
a
recently.
Wasted life you've spent.
Comparatively recently, it would have been junior year in high school. We had 1 year, we got a film club together. I think I was one of only 5 that actually tried to put effort into it. But our school had a massive auditorium. And I had a tiny high school, but we had this lovely auditorium, massive screen. So we got to watch Bill and Ted on the big screen.
Oh, nice.
It was excellent.
This is Bob Genghis Khan.
Excellent.
Socrates Johnson.
All we are Is dust,
Dust
in
the wind, dude.
True philosophy there.
Philosophize with him, dude.
Jose Hernandez asks, "What about Meridian Massacre documentary?"
Meridian Massacre.
I've never
Whoa.
heard of it, but
I mean, to be honest, when you say "what about" when referring to history as a whole, I mean, yeah,
I think he's
I put
asking
up
what he
a-
thought about the documentary.
No, it's Blood Meridian.
Well,
That's
are we
what he's
talking about?
saying.
Are we talking about the book Blood Meridian? Or are we talking about what I found on researching the Meridian Race Riot of 1871 in Meridian, Mississippi, involving certain free initials I can't say because I don't want to kill this channel and other people. There was a lot of that occurring in the post-Civil War age. Kind of all got brushed under the rug.
Yeah.
This
It
is
was
hell.
not. It was not a peaceful reconciliation. Reconstruction was broken, sucked, and really didn't do a lot of good.
Yeah.
If this is hell, I feel so lied to by our album covers.
Well, Trippy Soul has a good suggestion to what was asked earlier about finding more accurate history. He says, listen to the people who were there, the journalists and letters from the time.
very much indeed. That's usually where I like.
But
to go
again,
for a
that's
lot of
still
information.
there's still always going to be some degree of how far back can you dig to confirm.
And in the case of the Civil War, go look up the Britain journalists, newspapers.
Yeah, the ones who hated us would pull no punches.
Well,
You know
The
what
par-
fascinates me about? Oh, sorry.
I was about to say when Billy said about the British papers, the perilous ventures of Arthur Fremantle from being scurried through the blockade to Mexico to sneak over the border of the United States and then traveling through all the Confederacy from the Deep South all the way through all the way to the Battle of Gettysburg to witness it. He's the guy, if you watch the movie Gettysburg, they put him in a red coat and he has talks with Longstreet. He would not have been wearing a red coat at the Battle of Gettysburg for obvious reasons. But yeah, he's probably one of the more famed characters in the movie. He's very memeable, and I love going to the Farnsworth house and dining under his uniform, the actor's uniform. It truly is how I entertain myself. I'm very weird. Okay, that's my rant about Fremantle.
dude,
Well,
you really,
if you want to be
really
weird,
need to
you're
get
in the
out
right
more.
place.
Yeah, you really need to get out more, dude.
And Kiko Man,
Actually-
thank you very much. He says, hit the like button. Thank you for the reminder. Yeah, hit that like button.
But what Readout does, though, is I notice he doesn't focus on the main battles. Like when I went through his channel, he focuses on the stuff that everybody has forgot. So he's
Yeah.
preserving history in his own unique way.
Or ruining it. It's your interpretation. I'm no expert.
Okay, Jose
No, but-
Hernandez clarified from earlier, Civil War Meridian.
So I'm gonna lean it's toward that 1871 massacre because I don't see any like Civil War 1860s, but I will have to look into that. In unrelated news, what unrelated news do we have?
Oh,
Hey, as Bernard
rather-
says, the LCMS pastors wrote some interesting things during the Civil War. What's LCMS stand for?
Are we a history channel now?
Yeah, sure.
We're open topic.
Okay, well, if anybody can answer this.
Lutheran.
Let me
Hang
go
on.
ahead and answer that
It's-
for you. They're actually aliens from another planet that came down through an alternate history. That's what's happening right here, ladies. and gentlemen.
It's Lutheran
That's what we're
Church of
referring to.
Missouri Senate.
Oh, gotcha.
And Bob says, to be fair, that's not hard to do. A lot of history is ignored. That is
Oh,
true.
it's happening every second.
Yeah.
Well, that's okay. So another channel I appreciate that's a history channel. He doesn't know I'm doing this. Is his name is Part Time Explorer. He goes and does old boat sinkings and stuff, but he actually works with the museums to get the facts and everything right before he presents them.
I'm gonna narc.
And But then he goes over and discusses things that nobody's ever heard of in terms of maritime history. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Is he the
sounds
one
it.
that did the SS Atlantic documentary?
Yes, he is.
Oh yeah, his stuff's fantastic. His stuff
Right.
is high end.
Trippy Soul said he's got to bounce, so you have a good night, Trippy.
Hey, Trippy, we care about you, man.
Kikoman says Stalin sounds more relevant nowadays.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
yes.
And Jose Hernandez has one of the most Jose Hernandez ideas I've heard so far tonight. He says, I have a brilliant idea. Iron Age presents the history of porn.
Well,
Probably
No,
not going to
but-
happen anytime soon, but
I'm not touching it.
you go ahead and get on that, Jose. That's all you there, brother.
I don't
You-
want
you
to look
have-
at giant bushes. Okay, I already see it.
Let us know how that goes.
I'll pass.
Yet another documentary that would sound better with a British accent. And here we are in the brothels of Rome.
You can actually have a live action sequence, and then we will have Herman doing an English accent, and the camera just keeps panning in.
Hold up,
Hands
hold up.
over to
It's
him.
Herman, but it's Herman playing everyone.
Yeah.